Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, and we're going to talk about video games. We're going to talk about Tomb Raider. I guess we're going to talk about the related tabletop game, and we're going to talk about Gamergate personality Brianna Wu on a tear again on Twitter. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Brianna Wu is actually ripping the developers of this Tomb Raider tabletop game, you know, the one that we talked about a little bit yesterday in another video, the Tomb Raider tabletop game that is going to make sure that you don't actually raid tombs because it's problematic and colonialist. And also Lara Croft has to be made plain Jane. That's the Tomb Raider tabletop game. Well, Brianna Wu, who one time famously said that Samus Aran from Metroid was trans, is now saying, I like Lara Croft as she is. We don't need to change her. We don't need to make her, well, they said she was cartoonishly sexualized, but like, it's gone too far. It's gone too far. I'm about ready to fall out of my chair here, guys. If you hear a thud, that is me falling out of my chair. Let's talk about this very strange arc in the story of Brianna Wu. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. Guys, you get a woo-hoo if you do. She's not here, but she is going to give you a psychic woo-hoo. I guarantee it. Actually, speaking of geeky, yesterday we talked about how we need to make the anti-Tomb Raider game, and we were joking we're going to call it Fuck These People, I'm Stealing Their Shit, and Also My Tits Are Huge. And savvy artist here, Drew, Fuck These People, I'm Stealing Their Shit, and Also My Tits Are Huge. Would you guys buy that game? I feel like you guys would buy buy that game. This is our anti-colonialism anti-colonialism game. I don't know, because there's a whole discussion now with any kind of tomb raiding games, and also with Indiana Jones, that archaeologists that take people's shit, they're not very good people, and it's perpetuating colonialism. And I think this is a thing that even came up with Critical Role in their one campaign that they were doing. But also, you know, her boobs aren't big. Geeky approves of this. Yeah, there it is. Your wish has come true. So for those of you who don't know, if this is the first video you've watched on the subject, there is a tabletop game for Tomb Raider by Evil Hat Productions, and they are the same tabletop developer that gave us the wonderful Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Again, I don't care if this game exists. It's just not for everybody. But this is basically Lara Croft and the Tumblr Squad. You know, and they put out this big, massive statement. Let me roll down here about raiding and colonialism. So I'm gonna reread that, or parts of that, and then we're gonna talk about Brianna Wu reacting to this. This is actually in the book, by the way. Raiding, as depicted in the original Tomb Raider games and stories, involves going to an ancient tomb and historical sites of different civilizations and acquiring artifacts. It operates on the assumption of finders keepers that grants raiders with the means and drive to claim ownership of artifacts, regardless of whether or not they have any historical or cultural claim to the treasure. Later games released in the Tomb Raider franchise have started the work of addressing this by having Lara Croft acknowledge her past mistakes and try to understand and show respect for the cultures and communities she comes into contact with. She has also worked to reform raider culture and raise the awareness of her peers. Bullshit. Lara no longer decorates her mantle with mythic artifacts. As a raider, she prioritizes seeking out the truth. Much of this game is inspired by her humanity, her struggle with heroism, and her tenacity. No longer her tits. No, they didn't say that. I just added that. We believe that all three aspects are an important component in creating a game that celebrates history and culture while acknowledging the respect and work required to live in a world wounded by colonialism. In this game, we seek to continue in that work alongside Crystal Dynamics by creating a sandbox for you to tell stories that address colonialist themes in play and create your own stories of respect and support for the people and cultures your seekers encounter. They're not raiders, they're seekers. They're not raiders, they're seekers. No more raiding tombs. Right? No more raiding tombs. That's okay. We'll give you a Tomb Raider. We'll call it "Fuck these people. I'm stealing their shit, and also my tits are huge." That's what we're gonna do. Brianna Wu, Gamergate adjacent Brianna Wu. I'm shocked. This is what she said. I'm a massive Tomb Raider fan. I wrote this very popular Polygon piece about how the 2013 reboot is one of the best character reinventions of all time. Actually, back in 2013, she still looked fairly Lara-esque, and it seems like with each passing year, we take away her assets. Her tomb has been raided. Her tatas have been raided. Please don't ruin the franchise for a political agenda your player base doesn't care about. We just want to solve puzzles. Oh my God. Oh my God. Where's Brianna Wu? Changing Lara from a cartoonishly sexualized blow-up doll to a real character was fantastic. It made her better and relatable. You're talking about changing the core idea. That is the point. Brianna, do you not understand what is going on? And I hate to be the one. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. They're taking classic franchises. They're taking what worked with those classic franchises and they're throwing it out the window. And they're turning it into something else completely. Why don't you just go start your own franchise? Why don't you just go make your own movies, make your own games, make your own comics? Well, because the fan base is there, you think. But when you piss them off, it's anti-marketing, it's anti-fan, and they get pissed. And then you complain when they get pissed and they go out to the internet and they complain because they're like, oh my God, Tomb Raider is no longer about raiding tombs. Yeah, you know, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You know, it's like you literally took the core of the game and you ripped it out. Come on. Two of whatever. Changing Lara from, the cartoonishly sexualized blow-up doll to real character was fantastic. You're talking about changing the core idea. DM Mike says, so changing the physical core of the character is fine, but keep the woke politics out. Brianna, taking a character, let's see what they said. Taking a character that is two-dimensional and adding this immense depth to her is just good writing and setting stakes. 2013 Lara isn't about her body, it's the struggles inside herself to survive. I love 2013 Lara. She's one of the greatest characters of all time. The 2013 game made Lara Croft a sexual assault victim for shock value. Brianna Wu says, show me the scene where it happens. It doesn't. Fight back or die. Rape, revenge, and the supernatural in Tomb Raider. So disclaimer, I did not play the 2013 Tomb Raider game. But, I have to go to gaming journos to get the details on that. I played it 20 times. There is no sexual assault. The guy is trying to kill her. This person says by not subjecting Lara to rape, the developers grant themselves plausible deniability, leaning heavily on public misunderstanding of what constitutes rape. Fantastic. In your eyes, I prefer the cartoony character that's super hot. Lara Croft was never two-dimensional. She was a badass heroine that fought, kicked ass, and went after tombs because she wanted to. I never got how the series was pro-colonialism, this person says. Isn't she just an archaeologist? Yeah, so is Indiana Jones. It belongs in a museum. He doesn't pawn the stuff off. He puts it in a museum. But that, in and of itself, current year, is problematic because he took it from some dead people and put it in a museum where not dead white people can pay to look at it, I guess. I don't know. She was more badass in the originals. And she was made much more of a victim in the new ones. So they're going to fight about Lara Croft. Whatever. I mean, look, at least she was raiding tombs. The problem now is that they want to take the tomb raiding out of Tomb Raider. And Brianna Wu, of all people, are saying that's a stupid, terrible, horrible, no good, very bad idea. I don't know. Did I get that right? No good, horrible, terrible, stupid. I don't know. Whatever. The book, the kid's book, right? So now they're all coming after her. Again. Like this has been, God, this is crazy. This is crazy. Alejandro Caraballo, S-Queer, says, this takedown of Brianna Wu is the one she deserves. And then they're talking about the whole Israeli-Palestinian thing that she has stepped into. So I'm not going to talk about that on YouTube. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this on YouTube. This is a Packer Girl putting another Brianna Wu tweet up. I should not be the only progressive this angry. Do you not see how these freaks are hijacking our movement and twisting it? Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you not see how they're inculcating young people to believe our Jewish brothers and sisters are the enemy? Yeah, you know, it's funny because I thought that the Nazis were the bad guys. I thought if you were anti-Semitic, that was a bad thing. I thought you got thrown off of Twitter for being anti-Semitic. I'm just saying, I've noticed a definite change in attitude over the last couple of months on Twitter. Things that never would have flown, people are saying just a couple of months ago, are flying all over the damn place. Wow. Yeah, wake up. Everything about the progressive movement is falling apart because you were letting bad actors weaponize our own values against us. Yeah, you know, this is something we've talked about before, that the left just took a really hard left turn and it's completely unrecognizable. Like, what the frick? I just think this is wild. Like, of all the people to be speaking sense here. Mark Stephen Levy traveled a bunch. Said, I saw your mention of Tomb Raider and reminded me of this temple in Cambodia. Look at that. There's an actual tomb. Most amazing place. I've never been to Cambodia. Should I go to Cambodia? Yeah. Tomb Raider is a historically important game for women in the sexist game industry, says developer Brianna Wu. Yeah, I don't know, because a lot of people are really attacking Lara Croft. Because I think, like, look, this is how I think it works. This is me. This is my YouTuber opinion. Is they pick targets that are representative of whatever they think the problem in said media is. So, like, if, you know, superheroes are problematic, then you go after Captain America, you go after Spider-Man, you know, and we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen because it's you know, problematic. So you go after these icons. You go after Luke Skywalker. Did Luke Skywalker, you know, indoctrinate a bunch of young men into wanting to become Jedis? Well, then you got to get rid of Luke Skywalker. Basically, you know, whatever the problem is, if there's a hypermasculine character, you have to make him effeminate or turn him into a Nazi. If there's a hypersexual character or a character that has historically been associated with being easy on the eyes, then you have to go after that character. And Lara Croft, historically, up until 2013, apparently, was a sexy female game character. And there were some people, not many, but some people complaining about her back in the day, back in the 90s. Like, I'm not going to buy my little Timmy a game where he's looking at the ass end of this scantily clad hoe for, you know, 20 hours or whatever. But the game sold very well. She's a very, very popular character, incredibly popular character. And she's practically irrelevant now. You know, I mean, and if you take the tomb rating out of Tomb Raider, that's going to be it. Like, nobody's going to care. They already don't. I mean, it's a stupid idea. It's a stupid idea. You know, as a kid, I remember Transformers, when they jumped the shark, they decided that they weren't going to transform anymore. It's like they're literally called Transformers, but like at the ass end of the G1 line, they had Action Masters, which were basically G.I. Joe figures of Transformers characters, because it probably was cheaper just to make action figures than it was to make actual Transformers. And like, you could see like the Transformers, G1 Transformers, literally that meme of that horse drawing where it starts out really well rendered and then we get to like a stick figure by the head of the horse, and that was G1 Transformers. Like, it started out beautiful Diaclone stuff and it was amazing, and then yeah, you know, we got into the movie era. It wasn't quite as good. Headmaster era wasn't quite as good, but it was still passable. And then we got into the Micromasters, and it's kind of like, okay, these are just micro machines that turn the Transformers. They all have the exact same transformation and they're kind of cheap looking, whatever. Then the Pretenders, and that was kind of dumb. And then we got to the Action Master. They don't even fucking transform anymore. That's what they're going to do, Tomb Raider. We can't raid tombs. It's problematic. We're going to go after it. because it was a popular franchise. Just like Star Wars, just like certain comic book franchises, Marvel, we got to go after it. And that's how these people work. That's how they work. That's how activists work. These are people that they might care somewhat about entertainment, but mostly they care about their politics, and they care about inserting said politics into media, and they're all over the place. And I'm not even kidding. Some of these people go to like literal socialist meetings. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Where they're basically told to go like infect media and indoctrinate people, It's like, what the hell is going on here? But yeah, I don't think this game is going to sell very well. I think this is another one of those games that are going to wind up at Ollie's. I've seen a whole bunch of tabletop games wind up at Ollie's lately, and I think this is going to be another one. But God, Brianna Wu of all people. I'm telling you, man, what is going on? I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.